This is Basic 3, Set 1, talking about frequency. Our key expressions are I usually, I sometimes, and I rarely. These expressions are used on the frequency ladder or a percentage scale that tells people how often you do something. Usually is about 90% of the time, so almost always, but not quite. Example, I usually walk to work. Sometimes is about 30 to 50% of the time. Example, I sometimes have eggs for breakfast. Rarely is about 5 to 10% of the time. So almost never. Example, I rarely go out to the movies anymore. Our dialogue. Person A. What do you usually do after work on weekdays? Person B. I usually go to the gym near the office to work out. How about you? Person A. That's impressive. I wish I had the energy to do that. Person B. Well, I sometimes skip it if I have a company dinner or if I'm exhausted. Person A. I see. Do you cook dinner at home then? Person B. No, I rarely cook on weekdays because I get home too late. I just grab something simple. Practice. I usually wake up at 7 a.m. on weekdays. I usually take the subway to get to work. I usually drink 2 cups of coffee every day. I usually have a light breakfast like yogurt or fruit. I usually read a book before going to bed. I usually listen to music while I'm working. I usually go grocery shopping on Saturday mornings. I usually meet my friends once a week. I usually wear comfortable clothes at home. I usually check my emails as soon as I arrive at the office. I sometimes skip breakfast when I'm busy. I sometimes watch movies on Netflix until late at night. I sometimes go for a walk in the park after dinner. I sometimes order delivery food on weekends. I sometimes work from home if the weather is bad. I sometimes take a taxi when I'm late for an appointment. I sometimes forget people's names. I sometimes visit art galleries or museums. I sometimes feel tired for no reason. I sometimes try new recipes I find online. I rarely drink alcohol these days. I rarely eat spicy food because my stomach is weak. I rarely travel abroad due to my busy schedule. I rarely watch TV. I prefer YouTube. I rarely get angry at others. I rarely wear a suit except for special occasions. I rarely play mobile games. I rarely cook complicated dishes at home. I rarely go to bed early on Friday nights. I rarely buy clothes offline. I usually shop online. Speaking lab. What is your typical morning routine on weekdays? I usually wake up at 6:30, take a shower, and have a simple breakfast. I rarely skip breakfast. How often do you exercise? And what kind of exercise do you do? I I usually go to the gym 3 times a week. I sometimes go jogging in the park on weekends. Do you prefer cooking at home or eating out? I usually cook dinner at home on weekdays, but I sometimes eat out with my friends on Fridays. What do you usually do in your free time? I usually read books or listen to podcasts. I enjoy learning new things. Are there any activities you enjoy doing occasionally? I sometimes go hiking when the weather is nice. I also sometimes visit new cafes in my neighborhood. What is something you rarely do, even though people might think you do it often? I usually cook dinner at home on weekdays, but I sometimes eat out with my friends on Fridays.